Hello, Intuitive friends, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a second degree Reiki practitioner as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you are interested in learning more about me, my client testimonials, or my credentials, just take a look down below in the description box. For those of you who are my subscribers, my new viewers, and visitors alike, I want to thank each and every one of you for your love, your support, and your loyalty to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. If you're watching this after the live stream, then down below you will be able to see some timestamps. Just click on those timestamps and it will take you directly to your designated reading. I'm also doing this for every other element. I already finished the fire signs. So what I'll do is at the end of this reading and this live, I will place the link down below to all the other elements. Okay, so it's easier for all of you to navigate, or I'll just place the playlist list down below in the description box. That being said, intuitive friends, welcome. For those of you who are watching me live, welcome back. Thank you so much for your love, your loyalty, and support. And today I'm going to be channeling messages focusing on your ex or no contact ex or past partner, past connection, past relationship, where I'll be channeling two aspects of the reading. Part number one, I'm going to be channeling messages focusing on their unspoken wound, meaning your ex or past connection or past partnership or relationship or no contact. Okay. So their unspoken wounds, and possibly here their possible guilt or regret they can't escape. The second part of the reading, I'm going to be channeling messages focusing on how you possibly came out winning. Basically, how their exit was part of your divine alignment. All right. So, just so you know, this reading isn't about reopening any wounds. It's just about trying to understand the possible truth here that your ex or past connection, past partner or past relationship never expressed, and how you in the end came out winning. That being said, we're going to start with Taurus. And today I'm doing the earth signs. So it's going to be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And each of those signs are going to have their own individual reading. Okay. Just give me 1 second. Let's make sure you guys can hear me, and then we're going to start. Oh, yep, you can. All right, awesome. Let us begin. Hello, Taurus, and welcome back to the channel. Whether you are a Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or wherever Taurus may be placed on your astrological natal chart, especially those areas where love, connection, relationship, partnership, marriage are placed. And those placements are if you are a Taurus in your Venus, or Taurus in Juno, or Taurus in your fifth, or Taurus in your seventh house, then these messages are also for you. And today, Taurus, I'm going to be channeling messages focusing on two aspects of this reading. First, your ex or past partner, relationship, connection, their unspoken wounds or their possible guilt and regret they can't escape. That's going to be the first part of the reading. Second part of the reading, I'll be channeling messages focusing on how you possibly came out winning. Okay. Basically, how their exit, whether you chose to move in a separate direction or whether it was their decision to move in a separate direction. Either way, we're going to take a look at how that exit was part of your divine alignment. And just so you know here, Taurus, this reading is not about or isn't about reopening any wounds. It's really about understanding the possible truth that either your ex or no contact ex or past partner, connection, or relationship never expressed, and how you ultimately came out winning. All right, let's take a look here at their unspoken wounds, guilt, regret they can't escape. All right, and we have here natural, authentic, real, organic. All right, what I'm picking up here in regards to your person, number one, um they may have not, I feel that they regret not giving you the glow, the flowers here, your flowers. I don't mean literal flowers, but I feel that they regret not having given you your kind of like recognition. I feel here, Taurus, you were very real, authentic, down to earth, of course, very connected to your sign of the earth element. Of course, Venus is your ruler. So I feel that there's a raw authenticity to you that perhaps not many people can understand. I feel here that people may mistake or mistakenly make it seem like you don't care because of that forward, practical, common sense approach. And that is completely opposite of what their assumptions are. And I feel that uh, your ex here, their unspoken wound is their inability to understand that your common sense approach, your practicality, maybe your way of being forward, and what may have seemed unemotional was actually you actually caring, you actually saying to your ex or within the connection that you and your partner may have had, where I do care. And this is how I am expressing myself to you. I'm being honest. I'm, calling it as I see it. And your natural approach on things, your way of grounding, and I'm getting a lot of root chakra here, you grounding your opinion, your thoughts, or your way of, expressing yourself. Um, with a sense of confidence may have rubbed your ex the wrong way at times, right? Because maybe it's, again, that perception of, oh, Taurus is being so straightforward or cold or robotic or disconnected from the emotion. And that's quite the opposite. It's because you felt comfortable in the connection that you were able to be as natural and authentic as you could. And I feel here that this, your ex or this person, unspoken wound here is regretting not seeing it from that perspective. We're not understanding it from that point of view. Okay. All right, let's get more details here, Taurus, and let's see what else is coming through in regards to your ex or past partner, connection, or relationship, their unspoken wounds, possible guilt or regret they can't escape. All right, let's take a look here. I feel here, Taurus, that this person, your ex, there's this natural, kind of like I'm getting like this natural confidence or this natural approach of how you are, like, here it is, here's my idea, here's my opinion, this is what I think, take it or leave it. That even though it might have rubbed them the wrong way when both of you were together in a connection, they now value it because you weren't the type of person who was just going to say yes, 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 just because perhaps other people in their past may have just agreed, or that you wouldn't be the type of person that would just agree just so that um, they feel better, or they would feel better. So there's a very natural approach to how you are, your authenticity, your practicality, your sensibility, that they do regret. They feel guilty for maybe even making it seem like that wasn't a positive attribute here. All right, let's take a look at what else is coming through in regards to their unspoken wound and possible regret or guilt that they can't escape. Now, oh no, not this one. Oh, I was going to say this one. See, boundaries respected. The other person respects your personal space and boundaries. Yeah. There's, again, there may have been differences here, differences between you and your person. I do feel that there was a natural effortlessness within the connection. And I do feel that your ex, whether it was your partner, a connection or relationship, there was an effortlessness between the both of you. It felt very natural. And the guilt and the regret and their unspoken wound is that it's very difficult to find that type of connection. Okay. Chemistry is something that I feel like is more common, but connection, deep down connection, okay, is more challenging to find. And although both of you may have had differences, I feel here that the unspoken wound is, like I said, not treasuring your authenticity, your realness, your natural approach to either solving issues, communication, getting to the nitty gritty of whatever situation, circumstance, or event, um, and their inability to understand what Taurus' true nature is. The fact that you were able to open up, the fact that you were able to be your true authentic self effortlessly with your ex, and your ex the same with you, although there were differences here, there was this sense of, regretting not fully acknowledging the positivity or not seeing that sense of stability and security within yourself, and also the stability and security that your natural kind of energy gave to the connection. They regret not having looked at it in a very different way. So maybe boundaries may have been very different, whereas your thought pattern, or maybe the way that you um, said the things that you said, maybe they seemed a bit too real or too raw for the person. For your ex, they may have interpreted that as being like, you know, too authentic. I do feel that they regret not seeing your authenticity and seeing the natural effortlessness between the both of you as a glow or as a plus. No matter who they may come across and no matter what other partnerships they may have, they do regret the effortlessness that you and they possessed in the connection. There was a genuine intertwining here of energy that, again, like I said, connection is a difficult, or I should say challenging energy to be able to naturally and effortlessly connect with. All right, let's take a look here. Now, this deck is the deck that has both yes and no, or I should say the light and the shadow side of the deck. I'm going to be taking a look at the shadow side in regards to what is possibly here, the unspoken wound or their guilt and regret that they still, to this day, Taurus may not be able to escape in regards to your past connection together. And we have here losing part of yourself, missing piece, gone away. You see? Remember that effortlessness that I was talking about, that sense of connection, that although there may have been differences here, and those differences may have been differences of communication, differences of love language, or differences in the way that both of you communicated to each other, there was this yin and yang type of energy between the both of you, where this person still to this day regrets or feels guilty, or there's this unspoken wound about feeling that you are or you were their missing piece. You were that yin yang energy that they may have maybe even needed, maybe never got in other connections. Um, I feel here the sense of nurturing. That's interesting. You have flowers here. Again, it's coming across as this person didn't take um, this personality trait of yours as a glow or as a positive. They may have at the beginning, but as the connection evolved, there may have been here this energy where that became the either power struggle or that may have been the tension here. And I feel that their regret is, or again, their guilt, their regret, or their unspoken wound is realizing here that the connection between the both of you was not only real, authentic, but it was also very natural, and they miss that. Yeah. Let's get to the other part of the reading here, Taurus. And part two of the reading is how you, Taurus, possibly came out winning. So basically, what I'm going to be channeling is how their exit, whether they chose to move in a separate direction or whether it was you who decided to move in a separate direction. Doesn't matter who broke up with whom, but I'm going to take a look here at how their exit was part of your divine alignment. Okay, how you came out winning from this breakup, separation, or divorce, no matter who may have initiated it. All right, let's take a look. Now, this deck has yes and no, or the light and the shadow. This time around, I'm going to be taking a look at the light side of this card, how you came out winning from this X partnership, breakup, separation, divorce. Ooh, that just popped out all on its own. We have here for yes, it says reach for high goals, success near. So this breakup, separation, divorce, no matter if it was you, Taurus, who initiated it, or whether it was your former partner or ex who initiated it, this is talking about you came out winning. Remember that I said earlier that there is a natural approach to who you are, to you're not afraid to be the real you with those people that you feel the closest with, or you feel that you can open up the most with. And there may have been a lot of overgiving on your part, meaning you were very much focused on making sure your partner's needs were met. There perhaps conflicts, problems, situations, like you were making sure that you were being that type of nurturing, compassionate person. Very nice, very, very positive. However, you may have started to lose focus on what your specific ambition, the things that you may have wanted to do, or maybe things that you did when you were single. Maybe you weren't being able to be your true, authentic self in regards to those things that made you you. There could have been a part of yourself where you were more present in ensuring that you were giving, that you were compassionate, that you were that type of partner that was fully present in the connection. But on the other side of that, being so fully present in the connection, it's as if you lost sight of either the dreams, the goals, or the ambition, or perhaps maybe here the hobbies, your passion, the things that really made you you, and you may have not done those things as much or have been focused on those things as much when you were in this connection. And so you may have been overpouring, overgiving, maybe even people pleasing here in this past connection. And without you maybe even realizing it here, Taurus, you may have slowly placed your own dreams, your own plans, your own hobbies, your own passion, the things that made you you when you were single. And you may have placed that in the back burner the moment that you were in this connection. So you may have lost yourself along the way. That is why this card is coming out saying that you possibly came out winning when there was this breakup, separation, or divorce, because you were able to move higher. It's as if when you were in this connection, although it was very loving, although it was, there was an effortless approach in the connection, okay, where your partner regrets, obviously, you can't be replaced, right? That natural flow is very authentic and unique between the both of you. That again, you may have lost sight of what your own goals were, your own dreams, the things that you were maybe even doing before you met this person or before you got into this connection, this marriage, this partnership, or this relationship. And I feel here that the moment that there was this separation, breakup, or divorce, or the parting of the ways, you may have soared a lot quicker. It's like you were no longer carrying dead weight because you were not just pouring 100% in that connection, leaving yourself drained for your own ambitions, right? And so once this breakup, separation, or divorce occurred, I feel that this was this beautiful divine alignment where you may have even noticed here, Taurus, that you became more successful. There was more success, however you define success to be. There may have been more abundance in your life, more opportunities, more growth. It's as if the moment both of you may have gone your separate ways, again, whomever broke up with whom, not important, it was as if there was this kind of like release. Now let's take a look here at what else is coming through. Very, very interesting reading here, Taurus. Let's get more messages here, how you possibly came out winning. And you have here strength. Now listen to this, okay? Talk about validation, confirmation. I want you to see this, Taurus, because this says a lot here. I want you to see that in this picture, there are two skiers, okay? Let's focus on the one up ahead over here, okay? Going up the mountain. The mountain is snowy, wintry, cold, more challenging to go up and hike it. I think it's more of a hiking, is they're not sledding, they're hiking. Your natural nature of giving, 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 pouring, pouring, pouring was slowing you down. It was slowing you down because you forgot who you are. Maybe unintentionally, because that's your true nature, Taurus. You're a nurturer, compassionate, Venus energy. Now I want you to see the other card that just came out. The lion is not climbing the top of the mountain. The lion is claiming its rightful position at the top of the mountain. Strength. This says here strength. Your inner strength is boundless. Unleash it. Remember, like I said, your potential, your growth, your ability to shoot to the top was in a way stagnant or not moving as easily. You had goals. You had goals even before you came into that connection. And you may have lost sight of it because you are a natural giver, a natural nurturer. You forgot about yourself along the way. Now, isn't that interesting that in this card you see two people going up the mountain? In the strength card, you only see one person. Symbolically here, we also have the butterfly. So this breakup, separation, or divorce here, Taurus, you possibly came out winning because you were able, ooh, you just saw that? That just jumped out of the deck. I'll talk about this in a minute. Hold on. You came out winning here, Taurus, because you were able to remember who you were, who you are, maybe your divine purpose, maybe your soul purpose was reignited or was more, or it was clearer once this relationship went its separate ways. And like I said, the butterfly is a symbolism here of a new beginning. So this new beginning opened up for you, where now in hindsight 2020, you're able to compare and contrast. Maybe you were making this person's life a whole lot easier, whereas yours you were placing on hold. Maybe you were making this person's dreams, income, situations, problems easier to resolve, but you were forgetting about yours, or you were leaving yours to the back burner. And this moment where both of you went your separate ways, there was this from difficulty to the release of a new beginning for you. And I can almost say this guarantee here, and again, this is a general reading, but I can almost guarantee that if you look at your life, focusing on your success, your abundance, your prosperity, when you and this person were together versus how your success, prosperity, and abundance looks now, I can almost say here, guaranteed, that you are better off not with this person energetically because you're reaching milestones that may have been either not met or would have taken way longer for you to meet. Now, let's take a look at the card that popped out of the deck here a little while ago, and it says Complex Octopus. Remember that I said here, and you could backtrack. That's why I love doing my live shuffling here, guys, because remember that I said you may have made this person's life easier. You may have been resolving issues that maybe weren't even yours in the first place, Taurus. That you may have been overpouring, people pleasing. And maybe when you were trying to place stronger boundaries, then you were, quote, not on board with the plan of the connection. Why are you not caring? I thought we were a team. Yeah, you were a team, but you were making it a whole lot easier for someone else and inadvertently making it more difficult for you. And why am I repeating that? download that I just channeled a little while ago. Because if you take a look at the octopus has 8 tentacles, meaning multitasking was something here that may have been part of this connection in the past or recent past, where this person may have, their life may have been a lot easier when you were around. And the moment you started to put boundaries, restrictions, healthy boundaries, all of a sudden you were the bad guy, the bad gal, the bad person, the person who's not being a team player. You were making someone's life easier and you were making yours more complex. Therefore, here, Taurus, it says complex octopus, complexity, multitasking, creativity. Discover a different version of yourself and discover the power of transformation. Talk about validation, confirmation. From the top of the reading here, this has been what has been coming through consistently from the first card all the way to the last. So there you go. Okay. Again, different version of you. The version of you here towards the moment that this connection, breakup, separation, divorce, or this, both of you may have gone your separate ways, it was no longer you making it difficult for yourself. It's you reclaiming your position, what you were meant to do, how you were meant to live, not multitasking so much to the point of making your life more complicated. Like I said, maybe with things that didn't even have to do anything with you. That multitasking right there was creating a bit of complexity in your life, and it may have even stifled your creativity, as it says there, creativity. And so that's how you came out winning here, Taurus. Taurus, that's all I have for you here today. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Drop a rose in the comment section. That lets me know that these messages have resonated for you. Up next, we have Virgo. But in the meantime, for those of you intuitive friends who are watching here with me, welcome. Thank you so much for your love, your loyalty, and support. Thank you for the thumbs up that I'm seeing already here. Greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to take a look at your monthly readings. There's always some information there for you, some clarity, some channeling of messages. So take a look at the monthly reading. Also take a look at the pick a card readings as well as the singles and couples reading and everything else that I have here for you on my playlist. I even have energy healing and daily affirmations playlist as well for those of you who are interested in free resources to use so that you can glow and level up. That being said, here up next, we have Virgo. I'm just putting all these cards back into the deck so that we can keep moving forward. Remember, intuitive friends, I'm doing this reading for all the elements. So if you know your placements on your astrological natal chart, especially your Venus or your Juno or your 5th or your 7th houses, then take a look at the other elements here that I am doing this channeling of messages for, okay? All right, intuitive friends, up next we have Virgo. Hello, Virgo, and welcome back to the channel. Whether you are a Virgo sun, moon, rising, or if you are Virgo on other placements on your astrological natal chart, whether you are a Virgo in your Venus, Virgo in your Juno, Virgo in your 5th house, or Virgo in your 7th house, then these messages are also for you, because today, Virgo, I am channeling messages focusing on your ex. No contact ex, your ex, or partner, past partner, past connection, past relationship. And I'll be channeling two aspects of this reading. The first is going to be your former person's unspoken wounds, possible guilt, possible regret they can't escape, as well as how you possibly came out winning. Basically, how their exit, doesn't matter who's called it quits or who decided to go which way, but how how you possibly came out winning during the exit part of this connection. Okay, so as you've gone your separate ways, how their exit was part of your divine alignment. All right, first we're going to start here, Virgo, focusing on their unspoken wound, possible regret, possible guilt they can't escape. So let's take a look here, Virgo. Don't forget, Virgo, to drop a rose in the comment section. That lets me know that these messages have resonated for you. Virgo, wow, the same thing that Taurus just got. I wouldn't be surprised here. And you saw how much I shuffled. Oh, okay. But this time, see that? Two are coming out. So we'll take a look at that. This is the card that Taurus just got in their reading. You may possibly have here, Virgo, some type of Taurus on your astrological natal chart. Maybe those areas that focus on love, connection, and partnerships. Like I mentioned, Venus, Juno, 7th, 5th houses. But I'm getting here, Virgo, that your ex, past partner, past connection, past relationship here, their unspoken wound, very similar to what Taurus had in their reading, was they didn't quite honor your natural way of being, just the way you just are naturally. Okay, what do I mean? Your personality, your tics, the way that you do the things that you do. It's as if at the time when both of you were together, it was more of what they saw of a burden. But now in retrospect, they regret that they didn't give you your flowers, or they didn't recognize here that part of you, your nature of analyzing, of maybe being quieter, more introspective, or asking a lot of questions, or your curiosity is part of who you are. And instead of embracing that, they may have seen that as a flaw. And instead of seeing that the questions, the critical thinking, the sometimes overthinking, I get it, but the thinking part, your natural nature of who you are was, they took it they saw it in a different way. They saw it in a different light. And now in retrospect, they're like, wow, Virgo's natural demeanor, natural personality was actually what grounded either our connection or grounded some type or some level of the connection. They have here the number 40. Now we look at that number in regards to numerology. 4 is all about stability. So it was your natural, authentic, realness, so to speak, that created or that amplified the stability within the connection. But they didn't see it that way. They didn't see that aspect as a positive. Or if they did at the beginning, they didn't in the end. And now they're going back and going, gee, you know what? Virgo may have been right about X, Y, and Z. You know what? The way Virgo thought about this or resolved this or took care of this makes sense now. All right, let's take a look at the next card that came out. It says anti-hero, maverick, risk taker, rule breaker. There was a part of you that may have been edgy. There may have been a part of you that may have seemed a bit radical for this person. Maybe your thoughts, your perspectives, your beliefs. This could have been a conservative side or a more liberal side. It all depends. Again, this is a general reading. Either way, whether it was appearance wise or whether it was based on beliefs, your own beliefs, their beliefs, there may have been differences here. I feel that the unspoken wound, possible regret that they can't escape memory wise, is that there was an authenticity about you. You weren't afraid to either say, express, or show whatever you needed to say, express, or show. So I do feel that you had the sense of confidence within yourself to say, express, or show whatever needed to be expressed, said, or shown. And that may have been a little bit of a friction because of it. But in hindsight 2020, this former person here, Virgo, now appreciates the quality that they may have, whether criticized in the past or recent past, whether not given you your glow, your recognition on. They can't escape the unique imprint. And I'm here showing, like, pointing to the tattoo. There's something about you that you imprinted in them. They learned something from you. And of course, we all learn from each other, but there was something very unique, whether it's unique about you or unique about the connection when you were together, that has set you apart from any other connection they have had, even if they've had other connections. Okay. So it's coming across as that they, regret or they feel guilty about this unspoken wound, about, man, I should have, what I could have, should have, would have done. All right. Let's take a look here at what else is coming through in regards to their unspoken wound or possible guilt or regret that they can't escape. They have here ego check. There were things, what I just said, there were things that you may have said, shown, and done that may have created a bit of friction. It may have put a spotlight into something here in the connection that you had with this ex, where either no one had placed them in that position where they got themselves checked, like you checked them, okay? Like you said what you needed to say, did what you needed to do, and that may have been a very unique quality about you, where whatever may have been said, done, or shown may have bruised either their ego or may have bruised or some type of connection here with their ego or pride. So in this connection, there may have been a humbling moment, a moment where maybe here you, Virgo, highlighted a personality, a shadow, something here in regards to this person that made them think, that made them be more aware of something, whether it was that they were turning their blind eye towards something, or whether it's that they knew about it, but they just never changed it because they expected other people to change their ways around them. And it's as if with you, you weren't going to play those games. You weren't going to move in that direction. And so maybe to your ex, to this past connection, you were considered a maverick. You may have been considered a rule breaker, not because you broke rules per se, but because of what you may have said, or again, made them realize that highlighted something here where their ego or pride may not have been able to handle. So I feel that this unspoken wound, it says interactions are forcing you to confront your own ego. I mean, there you go. Validation, confirmation. Their unspoken wound was the fact that you put the spotlight on things that needed to be discussed, needed to be shown, or needed to, for this person to outgrow. Maybe they weren't ready to outgrow. Maybe they, you know, they were hesitant. Maybe their pride or their ego got in the way. But they regret, and there's a guilt or regret connected to how they may have treated you in regards to your own analysis, your soul searching, your ability to spot things that were not strengthening the connection or the relationship. Now, let's go in deeper here, Virgo, and let's see what else is coming through. Their unspoken wounds or possible guilt or regret they can't escape. All right, now this deck that I am shuffling has both a shadow side and a light side. And of course, for this part of the reading, I'm going to be taking a look at the shadow side. So their unspoken wound, guilt, regret here from your ex or in this past connection or partnership. And they have here having blind spot. What you see isn't real. You see, they may have been a little bit delusional. There may have been a little bit of this Delulu energy here with this person. Again, as I said, you may have put a spotlight on some type of behaviors, old patterns, shadow self, lack of moderation, that they were not ready to either see or they just didn't want to change. And the regret here is regretting the fact that misinterpreting the sense of you having them look at this symbolic mirror, because if you see here, you see there's one person, but it's the reflection. Okay. I feel that this partnership created this reflection where they really needed to take a step forward and really look at an aspect of themselves. I feel that this may have been mutual. I feel that in this connection, you may have also felt the same way. There may have been some shadows here also that you needed to kind of confront. You may have done that for each other. And it may have been a little bit tense here. But they regret not having fully embraced the opportunity to grow with you and this connection. So someone here may have been resistant to that. And I feel it was your ex. Not everything, but there was definitely here some resistance because ego and pride may have taken the front seat, may have, moved up, may have emphasized. And they regret not seeing things in a different way. All right, let's take a look here, Virgo, at how you possibly came out winning from this breakup, separation, or divorce. Basically, how their exit, whether you may have chosen to exit or whether they may have chosen to exit, how their exit was part of your divine alignment. Now, remember, Virgo, this reading isn't about reopening wounds. It's about understanding the possible truth that they may have not expressed and how you came out winning from this breakup, separation, or divorce. All right, now this deck that I am shuffling here has a shadow and light side. For this part of the reading, I'm going to be taking a look at the light energy here, the light side. And it says, fulfilling your desires, being refreshed and moving. So this exit, their exit, was part of your divine alignment. You came out winning because you were able to really see that, number one, maybe this person was not the best partner, not because of the feelings, because I do feel that there was an effortlessness here between the both of you with this natural. Okay. And I feel that that may also be, like, if I didn't say it before, it's coming through here to just say it again. If I did, and if I didn't, here it is. There was a natural blend between the both of you. There may have been a natural effortlessness at the beginning of the connection. That may have felt very grounding, very secure, very stable. But also here, I'm getting that this exit, this breakup, separation, or divorce here may have allowed you to see that you didn't need a partner who was resistant or that was resisting change, but you needed a partner that was more in seeing, number one, seeing the connection as a valuable gift. That's number one. And also seeing the tension felt between the both of you or experienced here, whether at times it was their ego check or maybe at times your ego check here, Virgo. But to see this connection as a gift rather than a burden. You were able to exit this connection, and their exit was part of your divine alignment because you didn't need that resistance from them. It allowed you to open up a new chapter. You may have even physically moved, have moving there. You may have either physically moved to another city, town, state, country, whether residential or whether this may have been, you may have moved jobs. You may have had a lot of either moves, physical moves, whether it's relocation, whether it's job, or whether it was a home, or energetic move, meaning there was a sense of like things started to flow a lot easier because you no longer had the resistance and the tension of your partner here going against the grain of whatever it is that you may have noticed, that you may have brought to light within the connection. All right, let's make sure here that you guys can still see me. Okay, you guys, because I saw here that this got stalled a little bit. Okay. All right, let's take a look here, Virgo, at how you possibly came out winning from this breakup, separation, or divorce. How basically their exit was part of your divine alignment. Release. Exactly what I said. Validation, confirmation. I talked about moving, whether physically moving from a city, town, state, country, whether physically moving from one job to another job, or from one role to another role, or energetically the movement of things, like things started to flow easier. Release. You were released from a person who may have been egotistical, may have gaslit you, may have needed more time to heal their own wounds before getting into a connection. You were released, It says release past burdens and embrace new beginnings. So their exit was part of your divine alignment because you were able to move forward. You were able to move in connections or places or with people who valued you as a gift rather than a burden, that took your suggestions or advice, your golden nuggets here, and appreciated them. Or it could just even be being appreciated by someone who authentically understands whether it's your standards, your beliefs, what makes you you, that understands your quirks, your quirky side, your, you know, divine side, your caring side, but your critical, analytical side as well. And look at that as a glow rather than a grow. So very, very interesting here because that's what had come out at the top of the reading. Now let's take a look at what else is coming through. Don't forget, Virgo, drop a rose in the comment section. That lets me know that these messages have resonated for you. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up as well. And let's take a look here at what else is coming through for you. How you possibly came out winning from this past connection, partnership, relationship, from this past marriage for some of you, from your past relationship here with this ex. All right, let's take a look. And you have here gentle whale, introspection. See that? I told you, you also learned from this person here, Virgo. It wasn't one-sided. This person also had you take a look at yourself, do a little bit of an ego check also. But I feel here, Virgo, that their exit was part of your divine alignment because you were able to go deeper in your introspection. You were able to grow, but in a healthier way, not in a loud, angry way, but more in a way where maybe those were feelings, obviously, at the beginning, heartbreak, grief, anger. But with time, there was a gentleness that emerged from this experience for you. The way that you may have self-cared in a gentle way, giving yourself the compassion, the nurturing, just like the flower, you poured back into you. Let's see what this says here. It says you need to calm down and awaken the cosmic consciousness within you. I wouldn't be surprised that their exit created a sense of a spiritual awakening, that the sadness, grief, the heartbreak really deeply created a sense of grief in your heart, but also allowed you to restructure. It's like a tower moment, because that's what I'm seeing clairvoyantly. Whether it was a sudden change or whether there was this like crumbling of everything, but you realize that in order to start new again, you needed to make peace with yourself. Maybe later here, even realize that energetic forgiveness towards this person and towards this experience was necessary in order for you to awaken, to move to your next level of healing. So their exit was part of your divine alignment to bring you more awareness. And I feel that there was this sense of like tower moment that created that clean slate type of energy, allowing you to have some type of an epiphany here and change something. And again, the change may have been, as I said at the top of the reading, a physical move, or this could have been also you being, it says here, being refreshed. Look at that. A brand new outlook on life. Virgo, that's all that I have here for you today. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, continue to subscribe. Drop a rose in the comment section. That lets me know that these messages have been insightful. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Up next, we have Capricorn. But before I jump into Capricorn's reading, intuitive friends, thank you so much for your love, your loyalty, and support. Thank you for the thumbs up for those of you who are watching this reading as I am doing it on live stream. Don't forget to take a look at your monthly readings and also your 2026 quarterly readings, which are already posted. That's been there for quite some time. I rearranged some things. I did place the 2026 quarterly yearly reading in the bonus messages. So you may want to take a look at that. Remember, I structured those quarterly readings to take a look at quarter by quarter throughout the whole entire 2026 new year. So you guys could take a look at that as well. Again, that's in the bonus playlist. For those of you who are in connections, don't forget to take a look at the partnership or partnership readings, couple readings. If you are single, then take a look at the singles readings located in the singles playlist. If you're interested in pick a card readings, then take a look at the pick a card readings, as well as the No Contact X playlist portion of my channel. And last but not least, the energetic healing and daily affirmation. So if you're interested in personal growth, energy healing, manifestation, and affirmations, then feel free to take a look at the energy healing and affirmations playlist. That being said, up next is going to be up next is going to be Capricorn. Thank you so much for joining me here, intuitive friends. Don't forget to share my YouTube channel link with like-minded souls and join me for my 5-minute mini readings. If you're new to the channel and you just subscribed right now and you're like, mini readings, what's that about? Then take a look at the live playlist. I have a live 5-minute mini live, the Lexa Tarot live 5-minute mini readings playlist. You could take a look at that. I do 5-minute mini readings for my subscribers only. So super important that if you're watching this and you're liking what you're watching, not only give me a thumbs up, but also subscribe to the channel and join me for that. All right, intuitive friends, let's jump to the next. Here we have Capricorn. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome back to the channel. Whether you are a Capricorn sun, moon, rising, or if you are a Capricorn and other placements on your astrological natal chart that focus on love, connections, partnerships, marriage, relationships, then these messages are also for you. And those placements may possibly be as follows. If you are a Capricorn Venus or a Capricorn Juno, or a Capricorn in your 5th house, or a Capricorn in your 7th house, then these messages are also for you. All right, my name is Lexa Tarot, and I am a 2nd-degree Reiki practitioner, as well as an intuitive tarot and oracle reader. And if you are interested in learning more about me, my client testimonials, or my credentials, just take a look down below in the description box. All my links are down below. For those of you who are watching, thank you. Whether you are new to the channel, whether you're just subscribed, or whether you're a current subscriber, I want to thank each and every one of you for your love, your support, and your loyalty to the channel. Today, Capricorn, I'm going to be channeling messages focusing on 2 aspects of this reading. The first is going to be your ex-partner, your ex-spouse, your ex in general, or it could be a no-contact ex also, okay? Or a past connection, a past partnership, a past relationship, maybe even here for some of you, a past marriage. And what I'll be doing is I'll be taking a look at their unspoken wounds or possible guilt or regret they can't escape. The second part of the reading is I'm going to be channeling messages focusing on you, focusing on how you possibly came out winning, okay? How their exit, and of course, it doesn't matter who decided to go their separate ways, but how their exit was part of your divine alignment. Look at that. I'm just shuffling. There are two cards that came out of the deck. Was it two? Okay. Yeah, you got three. So Capricorn, there may be a lot of tea spilling right now. Okay. First and foremost, it says prey, stalked, invaded, watched. Okay. Their unspoken wound here, they may either feel guilty or feel a sense of regret, possibly here in a situation, circumstance, or event. Okay. Maybe an environment that they created, you created, or both of you in this connection may have created, where they may have been a bit obsessive or a bit possessive in regards to you. They may have been the jealous type. Now, again, that doesn't mean that every single person watching that may be the storyline. Maybe that's why there are three cards that came out here. But I feel that that's one of the things here that could be this unspoken wound. There's a regret in the manner in which they may have either been stalking, possessive, jealous. Okay. I'm also getting here the memories of those conversations, the way that they may have invaded your privacy, maybe by taking a look at your phone, maybe even here stalking your social media or social media platforms here. But there's this sense here of them regretting or not being maybe even being able to express the wounds from where that type of action or reaction may have come from. Because I do feel, for those of you who feel like this storyline makes sense for you in this past connection, it's as if this person had a lot of insecurities or felt inadequate in some way, shape, or form. And there may have been even a fear here of abandonment. And that may have been their own unspoken wound. And maybe they didn't want to say that, or maybe they didn't even realize that that's the pattern or the wounding that they needed to heal. Their own insecurities or inadequacies, they may have, feared you leaving them or you cheating on them, maybe because they themselves were the type of person who cheated, and maybe they had their own situations in the past or recent past, or maybe they were cheated on, or maybe there was a sense of betrayal that they may have experienced, and so therefore they were projecting that type of energy. And I feel that they regret, or they feel guilty about having you endure that energy that was created within the connection because of that. The next one says hunter, aggressor, tracker, provider. Interesting, tracker. Again, I'm getting this energy here from this first card, where is that sense of like stalking, watching, possessiveness, obsessive, okay, and feeling inadequate. So there's this unspoken wound here that could be very much connected to that. Aggressor, I feel here this person may have had, again, it could be connected to this card, to this first card, or it could be in addition to this. Okay, so maybe this didn't resonate for you, but this might. Okay, so because this reading, this person got three cards that popped out of the deck. Okay, so sorry, just some background noise there. My apologies. So, Hunter, I'm getting here again that type of watching, stalking, being possessive, but I'm also getting with the aggressor. It's as if, and with tracker also, I'm getting here with aggressor that there may have been potentially here some type of anger management issues or temperament issues, losing the temper too quickly, being very defensive. So I feel here this person, this ex's unspoken wound may have been very much connected to that type of energy. There's a guilt or there's a regret here that they can't escape because of this kind of memory that keeps going over and over. Now, interesting because they have 31 and 32. By looking at 31 and 32, this is telling me that whether it's the first card, the second card, or the third card that I'm going to be channeling, it doesn't have to be all three. For some of you, may one card may resonate more than the other, but that was a pattern. You weren't the first person to deal with or to have seen this person's shadow or unspoken wound because there may have been a pattern. Okay, 31, 32 was consecutive, may have happened on multiple times. Okay, multiple occasions here with different people, different connections, different cast of characters, like I always say, but with the same or similar endpoint or storyline. They have here saying goodbye, formal occasion, honoring lives. Okay, I feel this person was very much trapped in their own heartbreak. They may have shown their sense of sadness in a way that maybe um may have seemed very opposite. So instead of just saying or feeling or being vulnerable enough to say, you know what, it hurts me when X, Y, and Z happens, or when X, Y, and Z was said, or something like that. Instead of just being vulnerable, they may have resorted to being defensive or being very angry. So anger could have taken over rather than vulnerability of just talking and being more open about that unhealed wound, or that unspoken wound. I feel that there may have been, and again, something that I feel may not be connected to you, but you were the person that was with this person in this connection. So you may have seen it. This person may have been abandoned as a child. There may have been a fear of abandonment here. This fear of abandonment, again, could resonate in different ways. Maybe, someone passed away. Maybe their parents passed away. Maybe they were, um, you know, uh, someone else raised them, or they had a family member raise them, or, uh, there may have been a bit of a dysfunctional family situation going on. Okay. Um, but there was a lot of sadness here, very much connected to this person's heart, that they feel guilty, either number one, that they didn't talk about it with you, and number two, if they did talk about it with you, it was something that was at the forefront, something that they really needed to heal that wound from, that abandonment wound, that feeling of like someone leaving, being left, being cheated on, being betrayed. So that's how this is coming across in regards to this person's unspoken wound, guilt, or regret here in this past connection. Now it's interesting. They have here the number 11, 1 and 1. So 1 and 1, again, there's a connection. This card connects with one of these other ones for some of you. It's like as you listen to this reading, you're going to be like, yeah, that happened. in regards to my ex. Like they had that experience, in the past or with their family or something like that, or maybe in past connections. All right, let's move it along and let's take a look at other aspects of this reading, going a little bit deeper here and seeing how their unspoken wound may have possibly the regret, the guilt, something they can't escape. And look at that. Rumor has it, rumors are flying in your inner circle. Okay. Guilt, regret. Remember that I channeled at the top of the reading that one of the messages that I got here was that this person may have had some sense of really big insecurity, that there may have been this sense of being betrayed by someone else, deception. Maybe they're, maybe they experience, maybe they themselves, there's a saying that goes, be careful what the other person is very afraid of happening, or what they keep projecting, because whatever they keep projecting may be something that they possibly have a pattern of doing themselves. So if there was this sense of like afraid that you would cheat on them, it's either they may have been the type of person who may have potential of cheating, or they may have been cheated in the past. And therefore, rumor has it is coming across the regret or the guilt of listening to other people that may have either been spreading rumors or spreading lies about you. And it then caught this person, your ex, into this frenzy of, oh my gosh, or allowing the voices in their head, their perception, okay, to taint the connection, whether it's because they had desires to be with other people, maybe they were cheating in the past or they cheated in their past connections, or whether they were afraid to be cheated on. Okay. So there is this feeling here of feeling guilty, of maybe even taking a look at your social media accounts and creating storylines that weren't true because of that unspoken wound, and losing their temper, being defensive. Listen, I'm going to tell you this other storyline that's coming through here. For some of you here, Capricorn, this person regrets having cheated on you, because there may have been a situation, circumstance, or event where the rumor that was going around of this person maybe even cheating on you may have been true, and they may have tried to, done some gaslighting here. Okay. Where you may have picked up intuitively here, Capricorn, that, yeah, you needed to keep an eye on this person, because there may have been some signs here that this person may have been straying or may have strayed within the connection, or at the very least allowed this entertainment of DMs in social media to tarnish or to bring this energy as a wedge here. So there could have been past exes, there could have been past connections. All right, this deck that I am shuffling here has the light side of a reading and the shadow side. And for this part of the reading here, still connected to your past person's unspoken wounds, guilt, and regret that they can't escape, I'm going to take a look at the shadow side of this reading here for them. And then we're going to jump on your section. It says, in the formative stage, immature, being hungry. Look at that. Now, in the formative stage, back it up before I go to your reading. Back it up. Remember here, I said maybe as a child, there's some type of wounding, some type of abandonment, some type of dysfunctional situation here with family. In the formative years, with family or their caregiver, there could have been a very big moment or experience that imprinted on this person that has made it difficult for them possibly to connect with one person only in one. So remember the multiple people entertaining, needing that validation from others. Okay. Because of a past insecurity. There could have been a lack of provider in their life. They have provider here. So there could have been a lack of a strong, secure, stable, caring parental or mother figure, father figure, or family unit that may not have been possible or that may have been an issue. Again, it could have been because someone may have passed away. They may have been adopted. They may have been orphaned. They may have had a parent may have abandoned. There could have been an abandonment issue there. They regret being immature in those moments that they should have just been more open in this connection. I'm also getting here with being hungry. There was this insatiable appetite of being either the center of attention, or there was this kind of like thought pattern where if and again if this resonates, if this connection ended up breaking up because of someone cheating, your ex cheating, there was this insatiable appetite of sensuality or the dynamic of runner chaser, and that validation that they really kind of it fueled them. And so they regret moving in that way. For others of you, I'm getting here that this person regrets having listened to rumors that, number one, may not have been true, or making assumptions here, jumping to conclusions, jumping to assumptions here. Maybe even here for some of you, especially if this was a connection that separated and then assets needed to be separated, or children visitation and things like that. They regret making the ending difficult, whether that was a divorce, whether that was the money matter, whether it was the visitations, whatever it was. They regret making that portion complicated or more difficult. Because in reality, I don't know if you could see this here. It says here saying goodbye. See where it says saying goodbye? Saying goodbye was something difficult for them to do. So instead of just kind of acknowledging that it was difficult for them to just disconnect, they may just have been either stoic, like they didn't care, but in reality they did, or they just made the ending twice as difficult than it needed to be. Now, let's jump to the part of the reading here, Capricorn, where I'm going to take a look at how you possibly came out winning from this breakup, separation, or divorce. How their exit, meaning your ex's exit, whether you chose to go your separate way or whether it was your ex who decided to go their separate way, how their exit was part of your divine alignment. Now, remember here, Capricorn, this reading isn't about reopening wounds. It's about understanding the possible truth that either your ex never expressed, and if they did, it's a way for you to see how you came out winning from this breakup, separation, or divorce. Now, this deck that I am shuffling has the light side and shadow side. I'm going to take a look here at the light side of the reading here for you. So how you possibly came out winning from this breakup, separation, or divorce. Let's see what's coming through for you. You have here in the yes, embrace new opportunities, a fresh day begins, brand new start, okay? Brand new opportunity, brand new start. You were able to see the horizon. You were able to see light at the end of the tunnel. You were free from a person who, if this resonates again, if this was a connection where there was cheating, then you were able to leave that behind. Okay. Embrace a new opportunity with connections with people that valued you and valued who you are. And, there wasn't this sense of betrayal or backstabbing. If there was an issue here with anger management, if there was an issue here with being gaslit, then this is talking about their exit was part of your divine alignment because it allowed you to see life in a very different way, not from the pair of eyes of someone being jealous, obsessive, or controlling in some way, shape, or form. So there was a sense of release. You were able to close this chapter that may be Ace. What are you doing? Okay, good boy. That you were tangled up in. Because this energy is showing me that you felt very much intertwined and tangled. And there could have been a codependency here very easily, also. Okay, that could have been the case here. Okay. But yeah, let's keep it moving. Let's see what else is coming through for you. How you possibly came out winning. How their exit was part of your divine alignment. Don't forget, Capricorns, to drop a rose in the comment section. That lets me know that these messages have resonated for you. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. All right, let's take a look here, Capricorn. How you came out winning. Look at that. Strength. This situation, circumstance, or event made you stronger. It made you stronger by you remembering who you are as a person in your soul alignment, okay? Your soul purpose, your divine purpose, your life purpose. There may have been a very big life-altering change once this breakup, separation, or divorce occurred with this person. Yes, you were alone. Okay. Physically, yes, you were disconnected. You were alone in this breakup, separation, or divorce, but you came out winning. You rose from the ashes and you created an opportunity for yourself to take those ashes, clean them aside, push them aside, and rebuild a brand new you. In both of these cards, you have here the sun. The sun here is further away. The sun here is closer. My apologies if you hear all that background noise, but my puppy is chewing his chewing bone. So my apologies there if you could hear that. It's as if this distant horizon, things may have seemed very far away, or you may have felt here that whatever you wanted to achieve was so far away because you were so consumed by the dynamics, the energetic dynamic here in this connection, that you may, number one, have lost sight of yourself. You may have. But I'm also getting here, like you didn't see how you were going to surpass this tough period. So the sun being very, very far away, it's as if it was difficult for you to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but then you reclaimed your power. You reclaimed your power by, and I'll say this because it says this here, your inner strength is boundless. Unleash it. You unleash your strength. You remember who you were. You rose up from the ashes. You created a new version of you. one that isn't the martyr, the victim, one that is the victor, one who is in victory, one who is successful, one who has gone through the personal growth, has learned from those lessons in that connection, in that past connection, and has used it as a sense of purpose. So you used your pain for purpose. Okay. Now, let's take a look at your last and final card here, Capricorn. I hope you're enjoying this reading. Don't forget to drop a rose in the comment section if these messages resonate, and give me a thumbs up, like, share my channel, link with like-minded souls, and join me during my 5-minute live readings. First come, first serve. I do that often here on my channel. The only way for you to take part in that is if you are a subscriber to the channel. So make sure that you subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in those readings. If you want to take a look, when that does that, it just means I have to shuffle a little bit more. If you want to take a look at what those live mini readings look like, which are free for my subscribers, just take a look in the Lexa Tarot Live 5-minute mini reading playlist, and that gives you a glimpse of what I do for my subscriber only, and of course members as well. Purifying Frog. Listen, you cried a lot, you went through a lot, there was a lot of heartbreak here. Purifying always comes through energetically and like psychically and clairvoyantly to me as tears. Purifying through the tears. A lot of tears were shed, heartbreak was felt. But as I said, when I channeled this card here with strength, and when I said that there were times here, Capricorn, that you didn't even know, you were like, I don't even see the light at the end of the tunnel. But there was a part of you that kept you believing, listen, there is the light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, this is a tough breakup, separation, divorce. Yes, this is a difficult situation, but you're coming out winning. And you came out winning because you remembered who you are. You rose from the ashes. And rising from the ashes, and I'll do this here so you could see, it was your sense of rebirth, the dawn of a new day for you. Whether the dawn of a new day was you realizing here through an epiphany, not only remembering who you are, but also reminding you or remembering your divine purpose, your soul purpose, and your life purpose. There was a sense of rebirth here. It says purifying frog, rebirth, cleansing, and revitalization. Let go of the past, accept new beginnings. This is the third card talking about new beginnings here for you. You have a fresh new day beginning. I talked about butterfly is a symbol of new beginning. And again, you have here, it says new beginning. It says, let go of the past, accept new beginnings, and find the path to a new start. You were able to start fresh and new. Whether it was a new perspective, whether it was an epiphany, whether it was your soul or life purpose, you were able to reclaim your power and stand up not only for yourself, but stand up with a sense of dignity and strength and move forward towards your new chapter. Capricorn, I hope these messages have been insightful. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. Drop a rose in the comment section if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Please consider to do so, and I hope to see you soon. For all of you who are part of this channel and are subscribed, welcome back. Thank you, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, share, and I'll see you soon.